and welcome back to the Kiricocho podcast, the best football podcast in the world. Because let's be honest, nobody knows football better than Italians. I'm Odaga, and I'm joined by my fellow host, Danny. My God, hi
Hey,
Danny.
you know why I hate Mondays?
Why?
Because there's never any interesting football matches to watch. It's like the
There
worst
was
day of the week.
Chelsea Wolverhampton, great game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have big games.
You
I
usually
think there
never
was like
look. The
last
only
season, Inter AC Milan on Monday when Inter won the second star, the 20th league, was on Monday, I think.
it might have been, but because they were both out of any type of competition apart from the championship race. So yeah, apart from that, you never get interesting games on a Monday. No, the thing is, you usually never get good games on Mondays, at least in the first part of the season, because all the good teams are playing for Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. So yeah, they're never going to play on Mondays.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why Chelsea has a Monday game, because they have the game on Thursday that nobody's going to watch.
Well, they have a second team, so I think it's not a problem for them. Yes, so let's start. Let's talk. What are we going to talk about today? I think we need to talk about the Premier League, of course, best league in the world, at least for me. And Liverpool won. We're going to talk about that later. Arsenal, of course, dropped points.
Sorry.
Bad performances by the same teams. Tottenham, same old Tottenham. Man United, same old Manchester United, where they don't play against a big opposition. And they're not the underdogs. City played well against Ipswich, though. And yeah, what do we have next? The Serie A, of course. Bundesliga, maybe a few words about the Bundesliga. La Liga, Real Madrid are first again, top of the table. And then, the Champions League. It's a Champions League week. And we need to talk about the Champions League. Who's not going to make it. And even if Real Madrid can make it to the group stage, well, the table. And yeah, that's it. Where do you want to start?
Well, I guess we'll be starting as usual by the Prem.
Yeah.
The most boring competition in the world. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like it's a competition that is based a lot on flair and spectacular performances, but sometimes lacks technical ability. But it's a great championship or league.
Yeah. And of course, Liverpool secured 2-0 victory over Brentford, a hard-fought victory over Brentford in the
90th minute win.
90th and 90.
That was the 92nd, the first one, I think.
Thanks to Darwin Nunez coming on as a substitute, of course, in the stoppage time. He scored. I think it was, a frustrating watch as a Liverpool fan. Same. The last 4 matches weren't that good. I do sweat a lot when Liverpool plays because I'm an AC Milan fan, of course. I know it's weird, but yeah, that's it. And when I watch AC Milan, I know what to expect from AC Milan. They don't fight for anything, any title, they won the Super Cup, of course, but Liverpool can win everything, but every time, every season, they slip. And last 4 matches, of course, with the Carabao Cup in the middle, have been terrible. They dominated the possession, of course. It was like 60% of the ball. And they shot like 37 times, and it was a record in a Premier League matches since 2000 2003 2004. But they weren't great occasions. Mo Salah ghosting again. The Christmas curse is taking action. A bit delayed, but you know, I think he made a post a bit later in the day on Christmas Day, so of course the course is delayed uh, as the post. Yeah,
Honestly, when you were talking about the fact that Liverpool lately have not been performing as well as they should have or they have been doing in the first part of the season, I think like I was thinking about the Mo Salah curse and the Christmas tree picture with his family, but obviously that is just the it becomes like the apparent reason why Liverpool slip up easily in the second part of the season, in the beginning of the second part, but it's not because there's a curse on Liverpool and Mo Salah, but the only reason is because teams, when they get to January, usually they're very tired and letting off the foot from the accelerator and like they get a break, a too big break in the some final moments of December and starting of January period, they get a too big of a break. And so the concentration slips, you put your mind on other things, and when you get back to the playing ground, it's not as it was before because you're not gonna be there. And that's
and
the best moment for small teams to start getting back points because they have a lot less games, they have less continuity, but they can keep like they always follow the same amount of games. They have the a routine that is already set throughout the whole season. Instead, big teams they usually lose that routine around December and January, and that's when they start slipping a lot.
yeah, and especially Mo Salah because he always plays the 90 minutes. He doesn't get subbed off, and when he gets subbed off, he gets angry, of course, and that's why Zlot never takes him off, and Jurgen never take him off as well. They never took him off as well, and yeah, Brentford, yeah, it's not even a small team because they had the best home the best home form in the Premier League, I think, for this match. They showed great defensive efforts, mm, but they also had great chances.
Well,
I
I
think
feel like
Liverpool were
I
lucky during that match.
well, if even if they're not great shots, if you get 37 shots in one game, you deserve that win. But
Well, if you
dude, I'm
you
not
know
talking. Okay, I'm
37
not.
shots, but they weren't all on target. That's the main thing.
Okay, that's a great point. But I'm not talking about 37 shots all in the stands. I'm talking about 37 shots with maybe 15 that might be good chances.
Yeah,
You kind of deserve the win at that point.
with
But the
3.4 of expected goals. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and it came on the last two
that's
shots of
that.
the game. But the thing is, with a team like Brentford, if they only played 10 minutes each game, they probably would be winning the Prem by miles. And when you also don't see them scoring in the first 10, 20 minutes of a game, you know that also they're not there fully mentally and they're prepared to play a different kind of game from their usual self because they usually go very hard on attack. They try to score as fast as they can and get in control of the game. And it seems like in the game against Liverpool, they were really aware of how strong Liverpool's team is and that they had to be very careful about what they were going to do or they might risk slipping up. And they did a great defensive game until the 92nd minute where Nunez managed to get a great through ball for him and he scored an easy goal.
Yeah,
And yeah,
and every time Brentford were good defensively speaking, but every time I see a low block against Liverpool, I have always Vietnam flashbacks of that Paris 2022 final against Real Madrid. A low block, Liverpool can go through that low block, and
yeah, but that's
they end up losing the game. Not this time, thanks to Nunez, of course, had a great impact. MVP, maybe, but I think Konate had a better game. He came back from his injury, played well, recorded a lot of, balls, and even Trent was good today. I think,
Other-
no, Szoboszlai was good even. I think the only one who was actually bad was Salah, as
Also,
always.
also Cody Gakpo wasted some big
Yeah.
chances, really big chances that he should have netted. But the thing is, honestly, you give the MVP to game, you give it to the one that changes the game. Look, obviously he did not provide the assist, he did not provide all the build up for his goals, but still he managed to bang them in where other great players like Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, and Mo Salah missed. And so yeah, I feel like he has to be the MVP of that match. Obviously, the second goal at that point of the game maybe becomes useless, but you never know. It's better to have a 2 goal separation from the other team than having just one. So yeah, I would honestly give it to him.
And also great man management again by probably the manager of the season, at least in the Premier League, Arne Slot. Brought on, of course, Harvey Elliott, Darwin Nunez, Chiesa. They changed the game, and like in the last match, he of course Diogo Jota and Tsimikas, and yeah, they scored. They got the equalizer against Nottingham Forest. Again, he's great for him, and yeah, just keep
I think
going.
it has to be said that as of now, maybe with the when we get to June, the situation is going to change a lot, but still, as of now, with only one loss in all competitions, or maybe two, I don't know what did they lose in the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, they lost against Tottenham. One nil, of course, bad.
Yeah, okay, so
Should have been sent
okay,
off.
you lost one game and then got you eliminated of the Carabao Cup.
No,
But
no,
it's
there's still a second leg.
there's the second leg. Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
well, there's still a chance to get that back, and with Tottenham in its current form, it can
Playing
easily
at
happen.
Anfield, of course. So
Yeah, but the thing is that even playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with the form that they're at right now, it shouldn't be too hard. The thing is, you lost 2 games in the whole season, and you still haven't lost a game in the Champions League, and you're still in the FA Cup you're still running in the FA Cup. So I don't see why, as of now, he can't be nominated as the best coach in the whole world
but they
as of now.
needs to win titles, of course.
Yeah, obviously, but the thing is, at least for me, sorry, I'm stuttering. What I wanted to say is that even if a coach does not win titles or is expected, like, even if he's expected to win titles, as long as his team plays a great football and the reason why they don't win titles is only circumstances and sometimes not even their fault, I would still give titles to coaches that do not win. Because there are some great coaches that bring a beautiful game. They manage their players very well. The games are played in a beautiful manner. They maybe don't win, but still the results are there. The team is competitive and they're aiming for obviously higher peaks because
See,
there's
the
always
Apperini, of
something.
course, in Italy didn't win a trophy till last season, the Europa League. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the proof. I think this game week will be remembered. At least we will see at the end of the season because it's an important one. Liverpool got the win in the 9 minutes, and Arsenal dropped points again. They were leading 2-0 at home against Aston Villa. They started strongly. They had a great game. They were the best team on the pitch, and they applied pressure, multiple. They had multiple corners and set pieces, but they didn't. They failed to convert those early chances. And yeah, Gabriel Martinelli scored finally. Kai Havertz scored. and it seemed to be, uh, a good day for Arsenal fans, getting the 3 points and not sleeping again. But that didn't happen. You know,
Honestly, you know
we
what? At least for me with Arsenal, is after that Champions League loss against Inter, where they played 100%, they played a lot better than Inter, but still did not manage to win the game. I think that got a lot in Mikel's head, and he started doing a lot of terrible decision and managing his players in a really bad way because in that game, I think he realized a lot the fact that you can play beautifully, but it does not mean you'll get results at the end of the game.
yeah.
And I feel like the last 5 or 6 games in the season for Arsenal, maybe they won, but still, some of those games, they had a really hard time getting the goals in or just managing the defense like they usually have. We've been used to seeing because Gabriel and Saliba has always been a partnership that was really strong, probably the best in the Prem. But this season and also the last season, it was iffy at times. It was something that was not
Well,
working as it
this
should.
good. I think they missed Saliba. Yeah, he had a knock before this game, so he didn't play, and they missed him. No, having Timber, I think Timber played as a center back with Gabriel. Yeah, it's not the same. Saliba and Gabriel are probably the best partnership in the world. Maybe uh, behind Van Dijk and Konate when he's fit. That that's not always the case.
Well, also when they
And
were fit, Militao and Rudiger were a good duo, but Militao has some
basically,
lacks on some on certain aspects of his game, but still a great defender, and Rudiger could cover a lot of his mistakes. But yeah, I still think that Gabriel and Saliba are a really great center back pair that any team would be really lucky to have.
yeah, and of course, Trossard had a great game on that left wing, wing at masterclass. Got 2 assists, but yeah, it
Well,
wasn't an
the problem with Leandre is that in the dying moments, like in the last moments of the game where Arsenal really needed him to show up, he started doing some tricky plays, let's say, because he
yeah,
was.
but
I
still,
think he was really tired. I think he was really tired at that point of the game because he had done so much in the first part, but in the last moments of the game, he wasn't as great as he could have been throughout the whole game. Another thing, at least for like is my opinion about the Liverpool game and yeah, and how Aston Villa played, is that at a certain point, even if you're not playing great or you see that the situation can be frustrating at times, I think that both team reaction was not to give up and they showed a lot of pride. Liverpool, I believe, mainly because they do not want to lose another league title in this way to probably City or Arsenal, but we know that Arsenal is going to bottle it anyway, so it's only City in the competition. And I feel like Aston Villa wanted to prove that they have not been on form, but still, they are a great team. They have great players. The teamwork that they have and that they could potentially reach is beautiful, at least for me, because I really like a lot of the players that they have. And lately, we have not seen that. And in that comeback, they showed how good they can be.
yeah. And you know, you're talking about Trossard last few minutes, but I think Odegaard had another stinker since Saka got injured. I didn't see much of him. And he's, Enzo Fernandez left his wife and he started playing good. I think, maybe Odegaard should. I'm just joking. And yeah, Aston Villa again, Unai Emery having another great game against. He still holds, a grudge against Arsenal for getting him sacked. And last season was a decisive game. I think
Yeah, they
still at
lost.
the
They
end of
lost 1-0.
they
They
lost.
lost 1-0.
Yeah, sure. 2-0, I think.
2-0 was it? Yeah, but I remember the game, yeah, where they completely bottled the league after that. Yeah, I remember.
Exactly. Still, Aston Villa making Arsenal, you know,
And now I remember that when we were doing our content for TikTok, I had picked Odegaard, but for one simple reason. The thing is that I believe Odegaard is a great player with a huge amount of talent, has so much, has like he can reach a peak that is so high that I think he could potentially be better than Ozil one day. But the thing, yeah, no, trust me, Ozil was magnificent and great, but he can do it. He's really young. He has the skills and the ability to reach that level, if not a lot more.
I think he's 26. He was really
Still,
young when he was at Madrid. He should be in his prime right now.
yeah, but the thing is, at least from what I've seen, is that Odegaard never came back from the injuries that he sustained. What was it last season? At the end of the season last year, he was.
Even this season, he got
Yeah, but
injured.
he's. Yeah, exactly. He's been
Not
racking.
this season.
Yeah, he's racked up a lot of injuries throughout the year, and it's like they've all been stacking one on top of the other, and they haven't helped him get back into the right mindset or the way he used to play. And yeah, obviously that penalty that he missed against United, I think that completely cut his head. As of now, it's he got too much in his head, and he's not providing as much as he should. And obviously, the lack of Saka is what is taking back Arsenal.
Yeah, of course. It's like, Saka is the Salah of Arsenal. And, Havertz had, scores a great goal. A goal that number 9 scores. And, yeah, but at the end, deflected that. Of course, Tielemans and Oli Watkins scored, and they leveled the game. And then a late goal for Arsenal was disallowed by VAR to an handball from Kai Havertz on that. I think it was Merino.
Yeah, Merino shot.
Yeah,
And also Merino hit the post a couple of
I
minutes
still
later.
hit the post after he scored the first goal. So yeah,
No, man.
I don't know. It's good. I'm not sad.
Dude, you were really happy about it. You were stoked about it because Liverpool managed to get 2 points off of Arsenal. But that is when you're partial to the game. That's not being in love with the game. That's being partial to it.
You need to be partial. You can't be a robot. And yeah, you should have scored that goal. Why did you put your hands on that shot?
Honestly,
It was Merino's shot.
I
Kai.
said it during the game. I did not touch that ball with my hand. It's all corrupted. It's the usual FA against Arsenal. It's nothing I can do about it. I never put my hand there.
Yeah, but you went on to celebrate the goal, even if you know there is VAR.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch
In
it.
the VAR era, you touch it with your hands.
No,
with
I
your
did not touch it, dude. Honestly, I did not touch that ball. It bounced off my belly. I didn't touch
He
the ball.
scored a great goal, but come on, mate. It wasn't going. It was going in. The Merino shot was going in. Why did you deflect it? Come on.
Yeah, because I wanted to score, obviously. They've been calling me a bum. I had to prove them wrong somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I think we should move on. We talked a lot about, of course, Liverpool and Arsenal. Let's talk quickly about Tottenham. They lost. They were losing 3-0 actually. They lost 3-2 against Everton away from home. The Everton played really well in the first half, and they capitalized on Tottenham's horrible defense. Joao Guzin and Archie Gray. Yeah, not a
Yeah,
good part.
especially on that what was it, the Dominic Calvert-Lewin first goal. What the hell was the defense doing? 3 players all on the ball, all falling for that change of direction. How can it be that bad?
Yeah, it's the 20th and of January, of course, and they didn't buy anyone in defense. So maybe only the keeper. Yeah, he's
Dude,
not center back, in the center back.
honestly, that's what I was talking about the other day when we were watching the Liverpool highlights and there was the what was it the Darwin Nunez goal that I was saying that, dude, how can you fall for a what is it, a feint? No, not a feint.
A feint. Oh,
Yeah,
it
how
was a
can you
first. Oh, his first touch. Yeah,
yeah, that he feinted a shot on his left, he threw it back on his right, and then he shot and scored. That's what I'm talking about. Why I'm saying that the Prem and a lot of the defenders in the Prem are not good defenders, because that Dominic Calvert-Lewin goal showed how much defenses in the Prem, especially Tottenham as of now, but
but
how
it's
much
not.
defensive.
Archie is not a defender. Archie is not a defender,
Yeah,
and the
okay,
losing
but
is
yeah, but in that situation, one of them, okay, is exonerated from the faults if he's not a real defender. But what the hell are the other two or three that were there doing? They
yeah.
all went on the wrong side. Like, out of four people, not even one fought to stay still. And that's why I was saying that I feel like the Prem is a great league to play in and to watch, but I feel like the defense in the Prem is below average compared to other leagues like Serie A. Honestly, I would say also La Liga and probably even Bundes. I feel like have a lot more solid defenders than the Prem.
Yeah.
Because I feel that defenders in the Prem can do a lot more. Like, they're not good only at defending. They can play make the ball. Like, they can take up the ball. I'm sorry, I'm lacking today. They're great playmakers. They have great feet. They're great at shooting. They can head the ball very well, but they're average in all of these things. Like, they're good, but they're not excellent. And that's what I feel sets apart great defenses like the ones that you can find in Serie A or you can find in other leagues compared to the ones in the Prem. And
Yeah.
I'll always stand on this.
I think you're a bit too stubborn. I do agree with you, but not partially agree with you. And talking about stubbornness, we should talk quickly about Ange Postecoglou. He doesn't change his system, still plays with a high line, even if he hasn't got the center backs. He doesn't have Van de Ven and Romero.
Yeah, and the thing is
Fifth
that
team in
And the
the
thing
league.
is that a player like Dragozin, and they should have known it from last season, but also looking the games at Genoa, that he's not a high line defender. He is one that stays just outside of the box and is great when people come at him, but not when he has to run to them or with them. And I don't understand how they did not see that as a massive problem. In fact, a defender like Milenkovic, who in the Serie A was terrible because he's not good in his initial positioning, but is solid at doing a lot of other things like playmaking or running back. I do not understand. Like, the thing is, I do not understand how they could not see the main differences between players like that. Because I
Yeah, well,
feel,
the Serie A is more tactical. It's the most tactical league in the world, and it's
yeah,
a
but
bit close.
I
You don't
feel like
have high line defenses. Maybe only
AC Milan
Inter.
has it.
Yeah,
AC Milan has it now with Conceição, a really high line. In fact, they concede a lot when other
well,
teams
yeah,
have
we
attacked.
saw it in the weekend on Saturday, of course.
Yeah, but we saw it mainly in the second game of Conceição against Inter, where two of the goals that they got scored on were because the line was too high. And that's the thing I feel with defenders in the Prem, is that defenders that are in the Prem and manage to go to the Serie A, I think they can learn how to defend the Italian way. But the other way around, I feel is really difficult, especially when they become older players, because they get used to defending a certain way and they're not great going back. And the ones that know, like manage really well to do this jump equality. Like I don't know. Obviously, he passed through the French league, but Thiago Silva, who at AC Milan was a great defender, when he went to Chelsea, still a great defender, even if he was not playing as he
And
used to play at
what about
AC Milan.
Kolasinac?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think that defenders going from the Prem to Serie A can manage that because they'll learn and they'll adapt. But doing the vice versa is a lot
But
harder.
Milenkovic did it, and they third in the league.
Yeah, but Milenkovic was shit in Serie A. That's the thing. He was terrible the last 2 seasons.
That's
He
what he's
couldn't
talking
even
about.
manage a roster spot because
Well, the
he's
league. What's about the league?
no. But De Ligt was terrible also in the Serie A. I feel like De Ligt is, dude. You said it in a message, and honestly, I have to agree with it. The league is still living off the hype of that 2017
I mean, he
Champions League
played
run.
good. He played good. He played good in the
Yeah, but
against
The
Brighton.
Ligt is always gonna be a solid defender that will never reach the peak that was expected from him because he was never that good. At least for me, it's always gonna be like that. I saw him play too many games to be able to say he's good. He never got to that point where he was actually good. He's solid, but not much more.
Yeah,
I feel like Harry Maguire still has more potential than the league. He's older, but he's a lot better at defense for me.
yeah. And what he went through, of course, the abuse, etc., was tough for him, but he recovered. Yeah, Man United. Talking about Man United, they lost at Old Trafford against Brighton, 3-1.
That first goal is wow.
Yeah, I think we said everything about United in that first episode. Then, of course, they managed to win against City. No, they won against City before. They managed to draw against Liverpool. Yeah, the winner against
No, but
Liverpool was
the game against City was before our first episode. In
yeah.
fact, I was really stoked about the fact that Amadou Diallo had somehow managed again to
Amad, not
last.
Amadou.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Onana in this moment because
Yeah,
Onana.
you're in love with him.
I'm making, yeah, but I love all the players that are named Onana. That's my problem, and I'm making all strange connections in my head. I'm thinking about Andre.
And
I'm
you love
thinking
him
about
too.
Amadou.
Him too. My name is not Andre, mate. The other guy, Andre,
Yeah,
not Amadou.
Amadou.
You love
Amadou.
him, but Andre.
I love them both.
Yeah, but I
One,
think that's a legalized robbery. 55 million for Onana after one season. I
you know,
swear to God.
honestly, I'll always think that Andre Onana's problem is one. He is not a Premier League goalkeeper. He's more of
I
a
think the problem is one. He is not a goalkeeper.
no.
That's
That's
it.
no. That's insane. That's insane. You obviously remember the what was it? I'm talking about the the African Cup of Nations. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember what edition I'm talking about. What was it?
It was
2022.
against Egypt.
Yeah,
The,
he
the,
played. He played a great game. That
last
like
year it was.
no. It was
I was just saying,
the one
okay,
before
okay.
where Egypt got to the final against Senegal. But
Yeah,
I think there he showed how much
pretty
potential
sure.
he has. He showed how much potential he has, how good of a keeper he can be, but still, he needs a certain type of defense in front of him. When his defense
Yeah, he
doesn't
needs
concede a lot,
Vini, Nesta, and freaking Van Dijk or Sergio Ramos. He needs everyone.
that's really harsh because in front of him he had, what was it? Damn, I can't remember the third, but it was Bastoni, who wasn't as good as he is now. It was Acerbi, who had a great season, but still. And there was, I can't remember the third, but still, that year Inter, in the league, they were shit. In the Champions League, they were decent. But they were decent because Onana, all the shots that somehow managed to pass through, he would save them without any type of problem. And that's the thing. When he doesn't get a really high volume of shots on him, he does decently because he knows the defense is going to cover a lot for him. But when he gets so many shots on target,
Mhm.
he's going to fumble as much
So,
as he
so
can.
so he's not a goalkeeper. I'm right. You cannot you cannot shoot against Onana because he will not save it.
I don't know. Honestly, for me, it's always been like, even when he was doing all those massive, terrible mistakes last season, for me, it will never be his fault. Like, he gave me
Why would
so many
you
great
his fault?
emotions. It
He
will
did
never.
it. He did it with Ajax. He did it with Inter. He did it with Cameroon, of course, and United. He always have he always had those mistakes in his game. Even at
Yeah,
Barcelona,
obviously.
I think he was young, of course.
No, obviously, I remember a lot of mistakes that he's made throughout his career, but still, the thing is that if he had a better defense in front of him, he would perform a lot better. And not, look, it's not because of the volume of shots, because you can still see some of the saves.
De Gea had a terrible defense in front of him, and he still saved United, and they weren't freaking 13th in the league. He's not the goalkeeper for United, and I know he's 28. He's young for a goalkeeper, but still,
No, he's not
doesn't
28.
improve.
He's
It's amazing.
27 or 26.
Yeah,
He's
27
younger
or
than
28. No, it's
Magnan,
20.
man.
No, it's 28. 28. I just
Yeah, but he's
still critical error by, of course, Onana, and Brighton did extend the lead.
no. Yeah, we were talking about it before. I told you I don't understand. Like, I can understand why he went out to try and catch that ball. He should have done that. I understand it completely. I don't understand why, when he did not catch it properly, why he stayed there and did not move anymore. Like, he just said, "Oh, fuck it, it's in." Like, that I really did not understand.
Well, yeah, and he had a terrible game. Mainu and Ugas had a terrible game. They cannot play together. Um,
Are we gonna talk about
that and
Lenny?
his, yeah, even Lanny, he had a terrible game against Southampton in midweek,
Yeah,
and
the
of
one
course
where
Mondial
there
was
was
with them.
the 12-minute hat trick from
Yeah,
Jamil.
and yeah, Mainu and Ugas, a terrible partnership. I think Ugas should have someone who's like a metronome on his side. He needs like, you don't need to buy an 80 million pound player or euro player. He needs like someone like Jorginho or someone who keeps the ball, pass the ball, sets the tempo, and then he can defend and do his thing. But Maino is not that.
Honestly, you know who I feel would be the perfect partnership for any midfielder. And
Who?
this is gonna sound so stupid, but at the same
My
time,
friend is Halanoglu.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about um, Leandro Paredes. Look, I do not like him because I feel like he's a really little person, a really little man, and he's a massive asshole. And he shows that so much on the field.
But that's Ugarte at United. He's the
Yeah,
Paredes.
but yeah, but the thing is that I believe that Paredes could help perform any midfielder because he has a really high level of how much he can be an ass, and he's going to help everyone around him improve because he gets in the mind of all the other players. He coaxes the referee against the other players all the time because he's always chirping and chirping and chirping. And so all of the team around him is going to start playing a lot better because they see this guy that is always running his mouth, always fouling everyone, always manages to get away with yellow cards because he never gets booked, or if he gets booked, it's after his sixth foul. And
Mhm.
he's always going to help perform people, even if his skill level is not that great. And I feel like any team in the world could really benefit from having a player like this because he runs miles
Uh,
around.
Argentina, of course, won the World Cup thanks to him. So He
Yeah,
should have
but I
been
feel like
sent
he's the
over.
Sergio Ramos of the midfield. Like he's a really shit person on the field, probably a great person off of it, but on the field he can be a really terrible person to deal with. But he's always gonna get away with it, no matter what he does.
Yeah, and you need a player like that. Maybe without that attitude, like a McAllister at Liverpool does a similar job.
Especially with that attitude, because
Nah,
he turns one great game for other people, he starts turning it to
but still,
something terrible.
if you start losing, you're gonna, he's gonna be the cause,
Yeah, okay, no,
and
I
then
see
let's
what
see
problem you're
if
looking
you
at,
got
but
the end of the game. But yeah,
yeah, no, I see what you're trying to say, but still, I really think that any team having one guy like that in the locker room that you know is always going to back you up no matter what happens. Even if you kill somebody, he's going to be there telling the police, no, I saw him. He didn't shoot. It was somebody else. He's always going to do that. And knowing you have somebody like that on the field with you, backing you up, everything you do, I feel like that could help improve any midfielder.
yeah. And coming back to United, it's the 20th. Same thing for Tottenham. They didn't sign anyone. I think Anthony will go to Betis on loan, but they need players, and they're not buying. Amorim needs players because he's a great manager. They need to back him. And going back to the Premier League quickly, of course, Man City won the fourth in the league right now, um,
Well,
and
you also
Newcastle
Newcastle
lost
fumbled
against them.
really hard.
Yeah, great performance by Clivers, by Bournemouth,
Milos
um,
Kerkez.
Isaac, yeah, Milos Kerkez, of course. Isaac didn't score, didn't extend his streak. Of course, Liverpool won. Fulham won against a troubled
Leicester.
Leicester City. Yeah, West
Not
Ham
great.
after the win against Fulham, they lost against Crystal Palace. Boom, boom, boom. Mateta is in the room. A
The
brace.
striker better than Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Arsenal drew. Everton, of course, won, which
You
was a
have
lot of
also you also have
useless.
Nottingham Forest that managed to beat
Nottingham,
them.
yeah,
Thanks
they
to
were lucky.
yeah,
It was
especially
lucky
thanks to
because
Ola Aina.
exactly. He saved it on the line when they were 3-2, so Southampton would have drawn, and and they still
Yeah,
they
Nottingham.
still
Sorry.
and of course City won 6-0. Nottingham Forest with the same point tally as Arsenal, so they're joint second in the league behind Liverpool, who has 6 more points with a game in hand, the Merseyside derby. Yeah, that's the Premier League. Um, let's move on and let's
No, wait,
talk about,
wait. You know what? That is talking about United a sec is
yeah,
yeah, another game where Marcus Rashford, I don't even think he was on the bench for this game.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's gonna leave.
Yeah, and I was really thinking about it last night about the fact that Marcus Rashford is going to leave United after all these years, after all those ups and downs where it looked like he could have a peak so high that he could be the next Cristiano Ronaldo or what Rooney, I don't know who you want to
Yeah,
compare him to, but I'm kind of sad about that, honestly. Like, last season he was no, what was it? 2 seasons ago, where
two
he was
seasons
on.
ago.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago, it seemed like he was finally back on track to do what he was doing when he was 18 years old. But he managed to fall down so quickly after that. It's like a roller coaster for him. He goes
You
up,
know,
he goes down, up and down all the time. And when he goes really high, he goes faster and faster down.
yeah, it's his fault partially, but I think it's also the team he's in, the boards, the man. He changes manager like every season. If he was like in the 2003 2004 United team or the 2008 United team, he would have been a great player for them, and he would have improved a lot.
Or maybe he
And
would have also been great after Cristiano had gone away and having to replace him. He could have
yeah,
proved as an essential player.
yeah, because we would have had a great manager. A United in a better situation. If he was a
Especially,
Liverpool player in the last 5 years, he would have been great.
but I
And
feel that also at Arsenal he would have performed because
yeah,
Mikel did great things with his wingers. Martinelli obviously a lot of times does not perform because he's not consistent, but Martinelli is a great player. In itself, he's a great player, but
yeah,
yeah, he has just some hiccups a lot of
a
times.
great Polish player because he's not Brazilian. And
He's also Italian.
yeah, but he's not Brazilian. Doesn't have the favela's DNA in him.
Yeah, but
And yeah,
I remember that season where uh I can't remember the year, but when
two
United
seasons ago,
no, the season
uh,
where United managed to kick PSG out of the Champions League.
yeah, it
And it
was
was when there was
I
still the
think
last
18,
season of Lukaku.
2019, Lukaku, yeah,
Yeah,
18,
1920, I think. Yeah. No,
18,
1819.
19. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. In that Champions League, Rashford was really solid and he was playing great. He was young, he was doing beautiful things. Honestly,
And that's
I'm
why
very sad
that's why.
about his career. And I'm okay, he's still 27. He has still 5 or 6 years where he can prove that he's really good. But damn, I
Let's
was
see where he ends up. Hopefully he gets the move because he cannot stay, he cannot waste 6 months,
and you know
even
it's
even a
and you know
season.
what is the thing about this that also makes me really mad is that another player that I really liked a lot and I still believe that he's gonna do great things throughout his career is Mason Greenwood. And what is he doing in the league in Liga now? He's what number one top scorer of the league, great assistman, like, and also in Spain he was playing beautiful last season. Like, uh, kind of sad about these players. Like United had a really young talent. Like no, they had a core of young players that were great, beautiful, could have done great things,
Yeah,
and they have not performed.
but shit happens, and we know what's happened with Rashford, Greenwood, etc. And yeah, let's end the Premier League right here, and let's talk, with our Serie A specialist, Serie A correspondent, about the Serie A, of course.
Dude, you,
Juventus, AC
dude,
Milan.
you should seriously start watching Serie A games that aren't all
I watched Serie
AC
A, yeah.
Milan. Yeah, you watched the AC Milan game. Come on, you didn't even watch the other games. Oh no, you watched
Well, I
Napoletano.
watched a bit of, what was it, Hellas Verona Lazio
Oh my god,
yesterday.
no. Yeah, tragic.
Well, because I had Castellanos in my
Yeah,
Italia Serie A.
tragic game from Valentin, but whatever.
It's a great league, but I don't have it, a match is 90 minutes. I don't have the time. If I watch a Premier League match, I cannot watch
Dude, you
a
have a
Serie A
phone and a
match as well.
computer. You can watch one and the other at the same time.
Yeah, but the Premier League is like YouTube, and the Serie A is more of a brain rot. It's like TikTok.
No, that's a terrible comparison. Yeah, if you're watching AC Milan week in week out, you can understand why that might be brain rot. But
Yeah,
a lot of the teams are good on form, solid, and you shit on the Serie A too much. No, Juventus.
I watch it, but
No, I feel like
big
Juventus.
game, AC Milan, of course.
Yeah, I feel like Juventus finally managed to show us what the potential of the team is, how solid defending is, and what they could do throughout the rest of the year. Because so far they have not been doing that good. They have not performed, and the style of play, yeah, indecent to look at. But against AC Milan, they decided that they wanted to get revenge from that Super Cup semifinal, and I feel like Juventus played very good, and the win was deserved. I don't know. You as an
Uh,
AC from Milan fan that watched the game with me, what do you think about that?
well, I think Milan, of course, had the chances in the first half. You
Yeah,
didn't
but
score. You
they had
should
the
have scored
chances
them.
for one goal. They had the chances for one. Like they had many occasions on the same play, but
Okay, but if you score that 1-0, the game is it's not done. But you're in the lead. You cannot you can manage it, and AC Milan being 1-0 up is it's almost a win.
uh,
I think Leao had another bad game. Didn't see him. Reinders for the first time had a bad game. I think playing too much you know, is catching up on him.
I simply feel that the problem is that we're in January now.
Yeah.
A lot of
Abraham,
big teams always do this.
Abraham had a bad game. Moza had a bad game. Fufana had a bad game. Theo Hernandez
Didn't do anything.
didn't see him. Tomori and Gabbia, disgusting from Tomori.
I
Um,
think that Gabbia, it's like he didn't perform because he didn't do anything that was too outrageous or too great. It
yeah,
was a neutral game. It's like he didn't even play. And I feel that the
Menyan,
same thing is for Hernandez. Like,
yeah, Menyan had a terrible game. And yeah, Emerson Royal, our, he cannot defend, he cannot attack, but he's our fullback. You know,
isn't he your favorite player in the team?
I like we were talking about brain also about TikTok. I like his TikToks. Mm, I think he played recently, was good defensively. This game, he was bad, but all the team was bad. They didn't play good.
No,
You
I
cannot
feel
put
that.
the full.
Look, I feel that AC Milan fans have an agenda against right backs. It's something that has been going on for a lot of years. I feel that
Yeah,
Emerson Real, even if by this much, is an upgrade on Calabria. Because Calabria was terrible, especially last season. I think one of the worst players throughout the whole season of AC Milan last year. I feel
yeah.
like Emerson Real is a little better because he has the ability to do much more than Calabria could. But at the same time, it seems like sometimes he does not realize that he's playing football and that he knows how to do that. Like he could perform, but he doesn't because he starts doing really stupid mistakes that a professional player should not be doing.
I never seen a solid Brazilian player. I always see bad Brazilian players and very good Brazilian players. You don't have
I can give you a really solid Brazilian player.
who got always a 6 or 7. Who?
Carlos Augusto.
He doesn't play. He doesn't play, mate.
He played the 90 minutes yesterday. He played the 90 minutes the week
Temple.
before almost.
Against Temple.
Yeah, he also played against what was it?
The
Uh,
map is the starter. He
but
doesn't play.
he doesn't play as a five. He plays as a center back.
Ah, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, Bastoni didn't
Ah,
play
because
last game.
no, that's
No, I feel like he, at least for me, Carlos Augusto is the least Brazilian person that I have ever seen. He does not play at all as a Brazilian. In fact, Brazil really need a player like him in their team because he's solid at defending and attacking. He's a great five. He's a great center back on the free line. And he's really good. He's good defensively. He's good going forward. He can see the plays. He knows how to cut out players. He knows how to intercept them. I think he's yeah, he's the least Brazilian player I have ever seen because he does not have any type of flair, but he's good at playing football.
well. Wait till the hair transplant expires, like Salah, and we'll see. We'll talk about it
But
again.
obviously, and probably in big games, he does not perform as well as he could or should because he should be a lot stronger than what he's actually doing. But I feel that all around he is a decent player and a really good one. And also, well, before this season, but Danilo wasn't a flair player. He wasn't fantastic at really any point of his career, but he was really good at doing what he did. He was good at staying back, at defending. He was good as a left back, as a right back, as a center back in a line of two and a line of three. He was good pushing the ball forward. He was good at keeping other players under check. Like there are some Brazilians that are really good at doing a lot of things and that can perform good, that can perform very well, and that can be really solid jollies, or yeah, I would call them jollies. That's what we say in Italian, and that they can fill up a lot of spots in a team, and that they're always going to provide a good performance. But going back to other things in the Serie A, yeah, Inter managed to win with Lautaro Martinez finally playing a decent game and scoring a really great goal. Lazio got back on form after having been terrible for the last 2 or 3 weeks, or what was it? Napoli, somehow, because I really surprised by how they played, but Napoli played
I
beautiful.
watched that game.
Yeah, they played beautifully. I'm really pissed about Napoli because Napoli always play a really poor level of football. They only play for the win. Instead, against Atalanta, they decided that they also knew how to play very well at football. And so they combined winning the game, playing very well, and yeah, they managed to win that game. And I feel like the score and the stat line is too close for what the game actually was, because Atalanta almost did not have any decent chance, did not have any big chances. They were created by the two goal scorers that show up week in, week out. And I'm talking about Matteo Retegui and Ademola Lookman, who Ademola got really lucky and he scored because the defense was doing poorly when he managed to score. And Retegui scored a banger. But if it hadn't been for those two players, Napoli playing like they did against any other team, it could have been a 4-0 easily because they played very well. Scott McTominay showed that Manchester United doesn't understand anything about midfielders, and they gave away probably the best midfielder that they had last season, because even if he was always coming off the bench, he always performed, always
But I
scored.
do, I do, I like him a lot, but I think he's more. He has a good face for this area. Like Loftus-Cheek last season had the same impact. A physical, tall, physical player who can play, who can score.
Yeah,
Is
but
better in the Serie A than in the Premier League.
McTominay has some massive differences with Loftus-Cheek. He gets less injuries. He has a better.
Hopefully, because I have him in my
Oh,
FPL.
I wish that for Napoli and for you, because yeah, he's really nice to watch because he's good. But I feel like there's other differences with Loftus-Cheek. I feel like McTominay has a better vision of how he's gonna play the ball, what he wants to do with the ball, and his ability to score, undeniable. He is very clinical. He manages to get a goal in desperate situations a lot of times, and I feel that his ability, general ability, is a little higher than the one that Loftus-Cheek. Although Loftus-Cheek has played in great teams, has been a really solid player throughout his whole career, I feel that McTominay is a little above him. At least that's my point of view.
He got a great football IQ. Manages to get always into the space. You know, he sees the space and gets
Yeah,
into it,
but
and he scores. He is like on 6 goals in the Serie A, I think. He got to win in the cup. But yeah, great
yeah,
player.
but the thing is also that he manages to play as a false nine sometimes. Well, not a false nine, like an offensive midfielder, but more of what do you call it?
A second striker.
Yeah, a second striker. And he does that very well because he combines with Lukaku, who benefits a lot from having somebody that rotates around him because Lukaku can is a great striker when he has a good partner. And McTominay kind of becomes his partner because he moves up, takes off a lot of pressure from Lukaku, who can then cut through, decide to keep the ball and try to make an assist for, let's say, McTominay or David Neres or whoever is there. And that's why Napoli are playing so well because their offensive rotation is really solid. They have two wingers that are really good at getting inside the box, dribbling, and doing a lot of that stuff. And they have really good midfielders that know how to move around the striker, not to get in his way, and to help him open up the plays or give him ways out of the plays so he can play the ball and they can score easily or pass it back for a better position. Then obviously you
Great.
have what? Sorry.
No, no. Great win by Napoli, of course. And
Yeah, no, I
they've
I did not want Napoli to win because obviously I want Inter to get the points back from Napoli. But as somebody that was simply watching that game because I wasn't even minding too much the situation about the sorry guys, today I'm kind of feeling iffy with my language. Um, yeah, I
come on,
wanted
Kai. Come on.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm sorry. I wanted Napoli to lose the game or at least draw it because it would have been points lost for both teams and Inter would have gotten caught up back to Napoli and Atalanta. But still, as somebody that wasn't looking too much that point of the game, that aspect of the game, but was looking more at the football that was being played, I really feel like Napoli deserved the win, played a beautiful game, and Antonio Conte showed that he is a far better coach than Gasperini will ever be. And I'm never going to open up this debate again. Gasperini, for me, is probably the fifth, as of now, fifth best coach, Italian coach in the world. Also,
No, no, give me your top five right now.
right now, Italian coaches,
Starting from the fifth place.
look, I would also put more people in front of him, but I'll give it to Gasperini. Gasperini, for me, is a fifth place. Hmm. I have to think about what great coach. Wait, I have other three in front of him, but they're all above. I need a fourth spot. Um,
Let's say fourth. Fourth.
I know I'm thinking about a fourth, but look, honestly, a fourth place for me, I would rather give it to Pioli if I had to than a Gasperini. But
Oh my God.
in seriousness, I feel that Vincenzo
Absolute
Italiano. No, no,
nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Vincenzo Italiano. I do not like him as a coach, but the way his team plays are always good. He plays a really solid type of football. The only thing that his team struggle a lot with is the defensive decisions. But if the people that he has in the defense, his center backs especially, made better choices, he would have at least the Conference League as a trophy in his cabinet. He would obviously have a Coppa
Yeah,
Italia.
if Man had wheels,
No,
he
that
should be
no,
a
that's not the debate. That's not the debate. Honestly, I know I'm putting ifs in the sentence, but it's not even a question of if, buts, and maybes. It's different defenders, but not better ones, just smarter ones that made better decisions would have brought him trophies, certainly. Also, in the third spot, I would put gladly sorry, I'm blanking. Simone Inzaghi is above
Mhm.
Gasperini. In
Okay.
the second spot, I'll give it to Conte. And in the first
Okay.
spot, but only because of his Champions League success, because I do not rate him as much as a coach. I feel like he's a coach of people and not a coach of a style of football. but it obviously has to be Carlo Ancelotti. Because if I have to debate someone, Gasperini for me is never going to be that good because he stumbles on games that he shouldn't. And in with Napoli, Atalanta were not playing that great. Napoli were playing so much better. And Conte showed that is how you coach a team that needs a win at all costs. And Gasperini was in the same situation as Conte, but Napoli were a lot better prepared, and it showed, and that's the result.
And they're more prepared because they play one game each week,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
that's
No, but
how.
that's true. That's true. I was saying the other day that if there was a way to get out of the league run, like if there was a way to get out of kicked out of the league, Conte would try to do that. He would try to play 0 games a year, but to win who knows what. But he would try to get out of that too. But the thing is,
Yeah.
when we're talking about league runs and league titles, there's not a better Italian coach than Antonio Conte, and hardly there will be. Because if you give him, he gets into a team, he finds the players that he likes, he asks for 4 or maybe 5 players, you get him those players, he will provide a title in 1 or 2 seasons. And he's always done it.
Lukaku, of course, is
Yeah,
on that list this
Lukaku's the
time.
centerpiece. He's the jewel crown of Antonio Conte, and in the Serie A, he's a cheat code apparently. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's what it
and
is.
we are talking about Carlo Ancelotti. Let's talk quickly about La Liga. A quick recap. Of course, Atletico dropped points away from home against Leganes. Griezmann missed a penalty in the 90th minute,
But this
and
season, a lot of teams have had a lot of issues with Leganes.
yeah,
I think also
Barca
Barcelona
lost.
lost to them.
Yeah, they lost 2-0, I think. Real Madrid did lose against them. And yeah, Barca dropped points as well. 1-1, a draw against Getafe away from home. Still play. They're like who? Man United. They play well against big teams. They don't draw, but they win. And against small teams, small sides, they struggle.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
I think
looking at
it's a mentality thing
yeah, I'm just
more
looking
than
at who scored for Getafe, and I'm seeing Arambari, and I think he's been playing there throughout his whole career because it's been yeah, he's played in that team since 2017. So sorry,
yeah.
because I remember
And
him against Inter 1 year, but I
and of
think like
course,
no, go ahead. I'll tell you
no,
later.
no, you can go ahead, no
No,
problem.
no, no, go ahead. I'll
Okay,
say
no,
my
no,
bit
no, you
later.
go ahead. Go ahead, come on. And of
No,
course, Real Madrid managed to win 4-1 against Las Palmas. Game started horribly. Fabio Silva, the ex-Wolves player and Rangers player, Anderlecht, of course, scored after 30 seconds on a mistake on the second post. Of course, Lucas Vasquez played terribly again, at least in the first half. Then he managed to get an assist at the end of the first half, of course. 4-1, best performance by Mbappe in a Real Madrid shirt. Got 2 goals. One was a penalty. The second goal was amazing on the first
yeah,
touch.
obviously, Vardy the hits again because it is what it is.
They got like 3 goals disallowed, so Valverde, it's a bit of a stretch. Valverde scored an amazing goal. If you didn't see it, if you didn't watch it, go watch it right now. It was disallowed on because of course Lucas Vasquez was in an offside position on when they were losing 1-0. Brahim missed a huge chance. But yeah, other than that, great performance. Rodrigo playing in his natural position on the left wing. great game.
Yeah,
The
but we have
strangely,
this.
people are better without Vinicius. That's
But
that's wild.
we were talking about it last week. I told, like, I think I said, yeah, I remember saying it, or at least I think I said it, that I feel like Madrid are still stressing a lot about the fact that Vinicius hasn't won that Ballon d'Or, and Vinicius is not good about, like, he's not reacting well to this thing, and all the team around is affected by him playing that way because he hasn't won this Ballon d'Or. That he honestly deserved because, yeah, it would have been fair if he got it. But still, I
Yeah,
said it last week, I'll keep saying it. I think that Vinicius, as of now, is the problem for that team, and that when he will get back on track with what he usually does and what he does best, which is dribbling players, providing goals and assists for all of his team, then Madrid will get back to performing as well as they can.
well,
And
they did perform well, of course.
yeah, no, but
Against
I'm
Las
talking
Palmas.
about with Vinicius because honestly, it kind of seems that Madrid's problem now could be that they have too many great players in the team because everybody wants to score, nobody wants to pass, or if they pass, at the end of the day, they're going to start hearing, yeah, but you did not score, you only assisted, and so on and so on. And you have Mbappe, who is a great left winger also. But yeah, you're gonna have to adapt him as a striker because you have the best winger, left winger in the world, who is Vinicius there. You also have Rodrigo, that is a phenomenal player, but he's obviously gonna be outshadowed by great players like Mbappe and Vinicius because as good as he is, he's slightly below them. Then you have Jude, who maybe some a lot of times does not perform as much as he could or should, but still another great player. And you have Bellingham subs who are great talents and great players who are Brahim Diaz and Arda Güler, who also want to shoot a lot the ball, want to score, want to assist, and want to play as much as they can. And now with
Yeah.
Real, for me, is that they have too many great players in few positions because they do not have solid midfielders. Because Modric is a great sub, but he's starting to age very quickly
Well,
because
he doesn't play
well
uh, much.
he usually plays an average of 45 minutes a game, so he usually comes in the second half. But I feel that this is the season in which we can see that Modric without Kroos has become older. Like it's been a jump of age
Yeah,
that before was not that easy to notice. It was not that noticeable. Now you can see it clearly.
yeah. And Madrid against Las Palmas were more balanced as a team. Of course, no Tchouaméni, no Camavinga. They played better without them. And they played with Dani Ceballos in the midfield. He had a great game, probably the best player on the pitch. And of course, he didn't score like Mbappe or Rodrigo or Diaz, but I think he was the best player for me. He has a great game, defensively speaking, 10 recoveries, 5 interceptions. He's that metronome that United don't have. He's
Trust me,
great,
trust me. A player like Dani Ceballos would not be great outside of Real Madrid, and already at Real Madrid, he's an average player, if not below the average of the team.
but he's what Real Madrid needs right now. You cannot play a midfield of Tchouaméni, who's not being great all season. Or no, Tchouaméni or Camavinga with Valverde and Bellingham.
But
That's not
I
doable.
agree with you 100%. I feel that Real Madrid should look for a player that is as similar as you can find to what Toni Kroos was throughout his career. Because they
Why are we always trying to sell Chalanoglu?
no, but
They need to just do it.
Çalhanoğlu is really far from being close to Toni Kroos. They're two completely different players. there are many players in the world that play similarly to Toni Kroos and might not be as obviously will not be or are not as good as he is because they play in less important teams than Real is. Because Real showcases your ability and talents to the maximum
Yeah.
level. Obviously, if you play in a team that is, let's say, Lecce, nobody's gonna notice you, and if they do, it's gonna take a lot of work and it's gonna take a lot of time. But there are great players. Fabregas has a midfielder who's Perrone, big dog, and I was looking at the way he plays, and he's so close to how Toni Kroos played last season that he would be a perfect match. If he could develop into what Toni Kroos was, I feel that a guy like Fabregas would have a really
They
great
go
midfielders
back,
for the next
I
years.
think he's on loan from Man City,
Could
maybe,
be,
or
I don't
one
know,
smaller one. Yeah.
but yeah, that's a player that is really similar to what Toni Kroos used to do, and it's a player that does not take the ball forward but manages to find his teammates going forward, and that's what Real needs because I feel like Real Madrid's offensive power is like if you had all of the best cars in the world, at least the ones that do 0 to 100, they do it all the fastest. Real has them all, but they don't have the right drivers for the cars. And with cars, I'm saying Vinicius is one, Mbappe, Bellingham, and Rodrigo are the cars, but they don't have the Toni Kroos who would be the pilot that drives them. And
And
they need
they don't have a great manager right now.
Ancelotti's
That's,
with
I think
Ancelotti's power.
against Las Palmas, Las Palmas, they were winning 4-1, and then who got Benito got a red card in the 60th minute. He left on Bellingham, left on Mbappe, left on Valverde. The full 90 minutes. Is that a great coach?
Look, honestly, and
Questionable.
we can go back to the debate about the best Italian coaches, but for me, Carlo Ancelotti is not the best coach on a tactical manner because I feel his game is not nice to look at. Like the games that his teams play, they're not really that interesting to look at. They're not really um they're not nice because the teams do not have a good style of football. But the thing with Ancelotti is that he knows how to manage the talent that he has in the team. His players will develop under him incredibly. And it's like Gasperini does. Under him, players perform, players know what they have to do. And I feel like he says, do whatever you want to, but do it in a smart manner. Like, play football, but play it all like you can play on
Yeah.
your own, but you have to play it with your teammates also. And that's what has brought the success of Real in the last couple of seasons, especially in the Champions League, where you see City plays levels above them of football. They play a lot better. But Real's strength is in its individual powers and not as in the team's abilities. At least that's what I see.
Yeah, exactly. Real strength is in the eyebrow. Ancelotti eyebrow. Yeah, so that's La Liga. I think we should move on and so a bit have a quick preview on the Champions League. Of course, it's the Champions League week. Yeah, we not you don't have big games. Only I think it's Atletico
There's
Madrid,
two
Bayern
big
Munich losers.
games. There's two big games.
Yeah, you have two big games, but they're not the decisive game. Maybe only Paris Saint-Germain, Man City,
Yeah, but
because
the
they're
thing is
both in
that
a terrible situation. But I think Real Madrid Salzburg is a bigger game because Real Madrid maybe they will not go through.
yeah, okay, no, if PSG and City manage to draw the game, they're probably gonna get left out of the Champions League for at
Yeah,
least for until next week. And no, no, it's in 2 weeks, the game after I think. But Until then, they will not be sure of being in or out of the Champions League. But a game like Leverkusen and Atletico is a really important game because if Atletico manage to secure the win, they'll go over Leverkusen and probably take off
Mhm.
one spot of the eight that guarantees you the what was it, the round of 16? Yeah.
Yeah, you will go to you don't have to
Yeah,
the
but
playoffs.
if
So
Atletico manage to win this one and the next one, they'll be for sure in the top eight and they'll be above Leverkusen. So that, at least for me, seems like a really important game, especially from
yeah,
the standpoint of the table in the Champions League. Because you
yeah.
have a lot of teams that are behind Leverkusen as of now that are those that go from the fifth position right until the 19th that could potentially all pass Leverkusen if Leverkusen were to
Then
lose by a big amount. Yeah. And
and I think the last game, well, the last matches, they will play it at the same time.
no, oh, wait,
Yeah,
no. Only the last match or even this
only the
game?
last match of the group. The
Okay.
last matches, of course, of the group
Yeah, but they
stages.
should do
So
that.
the
So at
league
least you
stage.
don't have, yeah, at least you don't have people that will try to play for draws or losses when they know
Yeah,
that they can cut off other teams. Yeah.
I do like this
They're all gonna
format,
be
this
on
league format.
Wednesday. They're all gonna be on next Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It
So
means we'll
yeah,
have to have two or if not three televisions or phones on to watch the
yeah,
games.
that that's true.
Yeah, because
And yeah,
Inter has a
I do
really.
like this format. Huh? I do like this format. I think it's good.
I don't mind it, but I feel that there's too much of a pause. Like I feel that the round, like the knockout stage. No, not the. Yeah, the knockout stage should be done. Should be already done. No, the group stage. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm tripping. But for me, it should already be over. Like,
Mm.
yeah, but the only team that is already sure of being
It's
100%
Liverpool.
in is Liverpool, exactly. And they
Yeah.
can put it to bed now, the situation in the Champions League. They can lose both games. They wouldn't care a lot about what happens because they would still draw teams that have been playing worse than what they've done this season. But if you already know what the situation is going to be at by the end of December, you know how to prepare for the middle of February because you know what games will require more importance and what you can kind of not play or play bad.
Mm.
And in
Yeah,
this way, the only team that knows that they can actually not perform and still be in it at all cost is going to be Liverpool. And for me, that is if.
I think this format is a win for the football fans because every game is important, and you know that the team will not sleep during the game. They will give 100% during every game, each game. But I think it's a loss for the team, so for the reason you just said. You don't know, you know, when will you play against a big team in the Champions League in the knockout stage, and so you don't know when to rest the players and so on and so on.
And another thing that I find really interesting that I understand why they do it, but at the same time, I don't feel that it's the correct decision. And it's the fact that they will be drawing the knockout stages, but they will draw in positions that are arranged very strangely. Like, what was it? The ninth or the 10th team could play with the 24th and the 23rd, but you don't know which ones until the game is drawn. And like, I understand why that makes sense. So you cannot arrange how you will end up, and it will all be down to luck to who you actually draw. But at the same time, I believe that if one team wants to purposely lose to get a better matchup, they should be able to do that because that has always been in the style of the Champions League.
Well, but I do love a meritocracy, so is better.
Yeah, but the
You know,
thing is that people always talk about you make your own destiny. If losing one game puts you in a better situation than winning one, why should you not lose the game? Why should you leave
because
it all
after
up to chance?
yeah, but after if you lose the game, the draw will be more difficult. Even if you play the a smaller team in the first knockout, maybe you'll go through the the round of 16, but in the next round you'll face a stronger team.
Yeah, no,
So
obviously, but
being
I'm just
absorbed as
saying
well.
that no, I'm just saying if there were like favorable situations in which like Liverpool is first now, and they were certain that the team that they were draw would be, I don't know, let's say that they were
You know,
would be certain that no, let's say Real, even if Real is out of the question, but let's say that Real makes it through the round of 16 and gets to the quarterfinals, and they know that they're gonna get Real if they're first. But if they get second, they might get Club Bruges, let's say. Why would they not purposely lose the matches to not get Real?
because if they go through Club Brugge, they face a bigger team, a stronger team. I think it's more. It's not. I think it's a club. Aboard aboard the board would like to go through, certainly go through the first around the first knockout stage because of course the club will get more money. But facing Real at the start at the end doesn't matter. Just win the game, please.
No. The thing is, yeah, but the thing is that you never want to face Real because somehow somebody from the sky is looking at them and they'll manage that win. It doesn't matter how, but they'll get there. And it's always like that.
Yeah, and that's it. Let's wrap this up. Premier League. I'm ready for the next. I think you know who will Liverpool play next. Let's see.
They have
Liverpool.
Lille. I really hope they beat
Yeah,
Lille
Liverpool.
because that would be an issue if they did not.
So I'm talking about the Premier League. I don't care about
Mm.
the Champions League. I'm sorry.
The Champions League is a lot more important than the Prem.
Yeah, of course we have Chelsea Wolverhampton today. Ooh, big match next week. Man City Chelsea on Saturday.
We're gonna see a
And
masterclass for Pep.
yeah, probably Kovacic will score again. Chelsea again.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Chelsea have not
that's
been
the only
doing
big
great
match.
lately, so I think Pep could walk away with that one.
I think that's the only big match next week in the Premier League, but there's a big match in the Serie A, Napoli Juventus. Can't wait to see that.
Nah, I already know how that game's gonna go.
A draw?
No, the tightest 1-0. Juventus' first loss in the season.
Hmm. We're playing away at the Stadio di Armando Maradona. Hopefully McTominay will score.
Well,
Yeah, that's
Antonio Conte usually manages to beat his ex teams. Inter had not won against Juventus for something like 4 or 5 seasons. He got at Inter first game they played against Juventus, they won it. So maybe not the first one, not the first time they met, but one of the first times that they met, he won the game, and that
what
was the
in
game that. Now it was the second
that was
season.
when Vidal scored in the
Yeah,
game.
but it was the second season. Yeah, and Barella
Yeah.
also scored. It was the second season. The first time the Juventus Inter played the second season of Antonio Conte, they won that game. They won the Scudetto. He's gonna beat them. He usually likes to beat up his ex teams.
Yeah.
Really likes to do it.
And yeah, that's it. That's the third episode of the Kiricocho podcast, the best football podcast, the best football podcast in the world. And because let's be honest, nobody knows football better than the Italians and Kai Havertz. Thanks, Kai, for being here.
It's time to
Hopefully,
go eat some pasta.
hopefully we'll get you. You can get us a guest or maybe an Odegaard, Saka was injured. Can you get Saka for us?
I can get Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, he's done for the season. He said he's up to partying and
Yeah, but
talking
you
to
have
people.
Saka. Can't you get Saka, Bukayo?
I wish, but
Please.
he said he doesn't like Egyptian Mo Salah.
And what about Salcedo?
Oof. I think Arteta would be something really demanding to do because he seems like a really strange person. Has a lot of things going on.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. See you in the next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye.